All right. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again. We got ourselves the new monster update for y'all today, patch 3.1.6. We're in it to win it. So let's take a look at this update and kind of see what we're going on now. This update's been live for I think about a little under a little under 24 hours. So, the majority of you that have been, messing around in the game for the last little bit, kind of already took a look at some of these units and, figured out, which ones, you like to take, take note on. So what I'm going to do today is kind of go back to the, old school videos. If you guys have seen some of my patch notes, I kind of like to do an episode where we talk about the ones to watch. And the ones to watch basically are, looking at the new monsters to bring into the mix and trying to figure out, in your opinion or in my opinion, as far as this video goes, which ones do I think are going to be kind of unique in nature and maybe have an impact on the meta. We'll see. We'll see how that kind of plays out. So, first and foremost, let's just talk about the aspect of the Dice Magicians in general. The concept of RMG, I'm not really, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. We already know the understanding of RNG when it comes to the Brownie Magicians, and now that they're mixing it up with these Dice Magicians, I'm curious to see how that's going to play a role. I think since the percentage the percent chance of rolling the same number is going to be lower than like a Brownie Magician's ability to gain an additional turn. I think the RNG factor on the first skill might not be as bad as they kind of put it out to be. But that being said, if it is similar to the Brownie Magicians or any other unit that has any kind of skill that can generate them an additional turn, having that opportunity to kind of reset that violent proc counter and continuously go at it is going to be pretty unique in nature. So overall, I guess when it comes to like the beginner to mid to game players, to be able to get a unit that can really make or break a fight when it comes to RNG, that that can be kind of interesting. It kind of, again, the RNG factor plays a strong role whether you're a beginner player or end game player. But I feel like this opportunity for NG to possibly go in your favor can be pretty unique for some of the players that are coming up that maybe don't have all the amazing cool Nat 5 units or other really key Nat 4 units. So anyways, let's take a look at these Dice Magicians. Again, my one to watch is probably going to be your one to watch here. The light Dice Magician here, just for that third skill, makes the attack bar of the enemies of all enemies change to 0, and the attack speed of the allies increased by 2 turns. This effect can be resisted and ignores immunity. So, now when I think about this unit, I think it can play a valuable role in Guild Wars. I'm not sure so much in the arena, because when it comes to the arena and playing around in that offensive setting, you're gonna have a particular combo set up, and when you put a support unit like this, you have to set it up in such that you can use your combination and still do what you got to do. Let me see if I can correct that. So, like when we think about a combination that has a buff removal, a Galleon, and then 2 damage dealers, we got that going on for ourselves. But if we're talking about bringing in a unit like this, we may be able to reduce the attack bars to get that first turn, but we still have to deal with the immunity with the other units. So if you're running something like a like an Aquila, that's another spot you have to consider. Or I mean, let's say you're fortunate enough to have a Tiana. Tiana, even if you run this light Diet Magician, Tiana, Galleon, whatever, you're still going to be down a DPS, right? Unless you, yeah, I really don't see how it's going to work unless you like, make this, your fastest unit, and you're playing around with a unit that's going to ignore defense. Yeah, I still feel like Bernard's going to play the role in that, because Bernard provides that attack percentage bonus when you're running it as a leader for win-based monsters. So I'm curious to see how people play around with it. As far as the other units go, I do feel they have some pretty uniqueness to it. The water one's going to be pretty unique, running 2 AoE attacks, has the potential to ignore the enemy's defense on that third skill. So we'll see how it plays a role in certain compositions. Overlooking at the 4-star Dice Magicians overall, I feel like their attack power, when maxed out, doesn't look like it's going to be all too high. So some of these units here that are having the ability to do damage, when the number is higher, great, more power to them. But again, it's all RNG, right? We'd have no idea what kind of damage it's going to put out. So I'm curious to see how that kind of goes. But you have another unit that has a potential to ignore defense. That's great. I like it. I like to see people, have more of an opportunity to play around with units of different elements. So I'm curious to see how that goes. So yeah, the light one is my favorite one here. Now, when it comes to the Heart Magicians, I'm kind of back and forth actually. I'm kind of back and forth actually. I think the Heart Magician, the Wind, is gonna be probably the favorite here, the one to watch. Because yeah, you got an opportunity to offset what the incoming damage and prevent one of your allies to die. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that I'm kind of focused at. You have the opportunity to stop them from dying, get an additional turn, and then of course, if your second skill is available, you can heal. You can provide immunity. If we're talking about a composition that allows you to bring a squishy unit without worrying it, having it die, randomly, whatever. How valuable is 20% heal on a squishy unit with immunity going to be, right? If these units are generally sitting anywhere from 10 to 15k, how valuable is a 20% heal to 15k really going to be, So that's what kind of throws me off a little bit. The first skill, not too, OMG about it when it comes to all these units here. The reduction of the attack bar percentage chance is relatively low, and the percentage chance of sleeping is extremely low. So, until we take a look at the units and see how much they scale up when we max them out, that'll be pretty unique. Hopefully, Comptos doesn't require us to put, so many skill ups into the similar like to the Samurai that had like an absurd amount of skills because they had that 4 skill running. So that'd be unique. As far as that goes, though, I am kind of excited to see more units that have the skills on the fire one there that can balance. They could do a little bit of balancing. That kind of ignores the concept of the HP, certain percentages of AC or whatnot. They can play around with the balancing. I know that, some people may disagree with me because when they think about the balancing of the HP, they think about Fallen Blossom, they think about Jasun and how OP it can be. The balancing of the HP is one thing. Having the balance of the HP and the attack bar that can Jasun could do is what kind of makes it kind of OP, kind of broken like that. So the fact that they're trying to incorporate more units that can balance certain heals is going to be unique. And the fact that there are some key, nat 4, nat 5 units that you can, tie into this monster to kind of save them after they have reduced their HP or whatever, I think it's going to be pretty cool to kind of combine. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the top end players come about. Again, I feel like the value of some of these units are there. We're going to see a shine in Guild Wars, possibly in the live arena if the opponent allows you to keep that unit, right? If they don't ban it. But when it comes to arena on the offensive side, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure people are going to be able to break their original compositions that they've already set up in order to work out some of these support units. Because again, some of these key support units that people are considering, they're all really, especially the dice masters, it's all really based on RNG. And I think people are going to go for that consistent, stable, kind of a setup that they're looking for versus having that RNG factor and play it. One may beg to offer though when you're at the end game and you're sitting there with different combinations you can play around with. So again, I'm all over the place with this one, but I guess that concept of RNG kind of keeps you in that mindset of like I really don't know what to think because again we don't know how they're going to roll out, how often it's going to go out, so on and so forth. And then in addition to that, how is the violent set going to play a role with some of these units if they go that route? So that's pretty much it, guys, for this kind of once to watch. I'm looking at the light Dight Magician, and then I'm looking between the Wind and the Fire Heart Magician. The light and the dark Heart Magician are unique, but again, it all, light one, it all depends if the unit has a beneficial effect. When it comes to, key compositions and whatnot, the ability to have beneficial effects, you're only going to see that, early on in the first turn with Shield Will runes or people utilizing, Chloe units or fanatic of the sort, during the fight, any key unit out there has any kind of beneficial effects. They're going to be every 4 to 5 turns, so not too many people are going to have those skills up. I'm curious to see how that goes. Dark one, I really wasn't too thrilled about it. Switches the attack bar to HP with the current enemy. Yes, that can play a unique aspect in Guild Wars, or sorry, in PvP, because that effect can be resistant to Norse immunity. But when I think about the common units and I think about what people can do, as far as the common units and what's going to be more obtainable. Out of the three main common units, I feel like the wind's the top one there, the fire one is the second one, and then the water one's going to be the third. So the wind one is probably going to be my winner for that one. Again, like I said before, the light one is the top one as far as the one shots go. But as I always love to close out this video, guys and girls, I would love to know what is your ones to watch. What kind of units are you really a big fan of here? And put it out there. Start theory crafting. What kind of compositions do you feel can be, pretty unique that people can start playing around with? Because again, there's going to be a lot of people summoning, talking about is this good or food? Give them a heads up. Put it in the comment section down below. I'm really looking forward to hearing your feedback on this one, okay? So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for this episode of The Ones to Watch with the patch 3.1.6 update. It's your boy Childish, Childish Plays checking out. Take care, and we will see you next time, guys. We're out.